Hi guys, let's talk about condiments today. Something you probably don't give a lot of attention to, but something that actually may be impacting you from a health standpoint, from a weight standpoint, and something you can do something about. I wanted to touch first on some condiments that might be worth skipping or replacing, or at the very least maybe just being mindful of the frequency of use or the amount of use. The first one may not be much of a surprise, but it's mayonnaise. Mayo consists primarily of oil, so it's pretty calorie dense and full of saturated fats. 1 tablespoon is close to 100 calories and 30% of the RDA of fat. And we know fat is not a bad thing, but in overabundance it can be problematic. And this one in particular is one to really be mindful of portion sizes with. A little can go a long way, and most of us way overdo it with this particular condiment. So just kind of be mindful of that. Salad dressing, bottled salad dressing in particular, is another thing to be aware of. A lot of these salad dressings not only are full of saturated fat, but often can be very high in sodium, can be very high in sugar, can be very high in additives like MSG. And it may seem like the low-fat or fat-free options could be better, but those typically have a ton more sugar and chemicals added to make them taste better and to replace that fat. So bottled salad dressings are rarely a healthy option. Another condiment to be mindful of is sour cream. Obviously, it's a dairy product, so it's got a bunch of saturated fat and high calories, and can also contribute to raising your risk of cardiovascular disease. Calories and fat by themselves, not necessarily something to be wary of, but in abundance and where unnecessary, always something to pay attention to. Last on my list are ketchup and barbecue sauce, primarily because most people don't realize that they both have a ton of added sugar, and some of them even have high fructose corn syrup. Just 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce has about 100 calories and 10 grams of sugar. Ketchup comes pretty close with about 7 grams of sugar, and that can add up really fast. Added sugars are definitely something we want to be wary of, especially where we don't need them. And ketchup and barbecue sauce are very much, areas where we don't need them. So all of those things are tops on my list of condiments to avoid. Catch me next time, and I'll fill you in on better condiments to replace them with. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.